There is a two-ingredient solution that cleans glass without streaks, without fumes, without the blue color that has become synonymous with clean windows, and without the ammonia that makes the product producing that blue color one of the more chemically hazardous things in the average household cleaning cabinet. It is white vinegar diluted with water. Equal parts. The total cost is under $1 per spray bottle, and it outperforms Windex and every product in the window cleaning category on the metric that actually matters: how clean and streak-free the glass is when you are finished. The window and glass cleaning product market in the United States generates approximately $3 billion per year globally. Windex, owned by SC Johnson, is the dominant brand and one of the most recognizable cleaning product names in American households. The blue color, the ammonia smell, and the spray bottle format have been marketed so successfully for so long that most people have never questioned whether what is inside the bottle is the best solution for cleaning glass, or simply the most aggressively marketed one. It is not the best solution, it is not even close. And the reason it works less well than vinegar and water is directly connected to what is in it. To understand why glass is difficult to clean without streaks, you need to understand what leaves marks on glass surfaces in the first place. Glass is a non-porous surface. Unlike wood or fabric, it does not absorb materials. Everything that contacts it stays on the surface. The marks on glass are primarily three things: mineral deposits from hard water that evaporated and left calcium and magnesium compounds behind, oils and fingerprints from skin contact, and soap or surfactant residue from previous cleaning attempts that dried on the surface. Each of these requires a different chemical approach to dissolve effectively. Mineral deposits are alkaline. They respond to mild acid. Skin oils are organic. They respond to surfactants that can surround and lift oil molecules. Soap residue is itself a surfactant. And here is where the problem with most glass cleaners begins. Surfactants, the cleaning agents in most commercial glass cleaners, are designed to lift oils and suspend them so they can be wiped away. But surfactants leave a thin residue on the surface when they dry. If you do not remove every molecule of surfactant during the cleaning process, which is very difficult to do with a cloth on a large glass surface, the residue dries and creates the streaks and smearing that most people experience with commercial glass cleaners. Windex contains isopropyl alcohol, ammonium hydroxide, and synthetic surfactants. The alcohol evaporates quickly, which is intended to prevent streaking. The ammonia cuts through grease and oils. The surfactants lift and suspend the material being cleaned, but if any surfactant remains on the surface when the alcohol evaporates, it dries as a streak, and on large surfaces like windows and mirrors, leaving no surfactant residue is essentially impossible. Vinegar contains no surfactants. It contains acetic acid, a mild acid that dissolves mineral deposits, cuts through skin oils without leaving a residue, and evaporates cleanly from glass surfaces without leaving any compound behind. When vinegar solution dries on glass, there is nothing left. No surfactant film, no residue, no streak. This is the chemical explanation for why vinegar and water consistently produces a cleaner, streak-free result on glass compared to surfactant-containing commercial cleaners. It is not that vinegar is a more powerful cleaner. It is that vinegar leaves nothing behind when it evaporates. Now let's talk about ammonia, because it is the ingredient in Windex that creates problems extending beyond streaks. Ammonium hydroxide, the form of ammonia in Windex, is an alkaline compound that is effective at cutting through grease and organic deposits on glass. At the concentrations in commercial glass cleaners, it is not acutely dangerous in normal use, but it has several properties that make it a poor choice as a household cleaning agent, and one property that makes it potentially dangerous. The smell of ammonia-based cleaners is not incidental. Ammonia is a volatile compound that evaporates from the cleaning solution and enters the air as a gas. In a small enclosed space, a bathroom, a car interior, a room with poor ventilation, the ammonia concentration in the air during and after cleaning is sufficient to cause eye and respiratory irritation in sensitive individuals. People with asthma, allergies, or respiratory conditions are particularly vulnerable. Children, whose respiratory systems are still developing, are exposed to the same concentrations as adults, but with proportionally higher dose per body weight. Long-term regular inhalation of ammonia vapors at the concentrations produced by household cleaning products has been associated in occupational health research with increased rates of respiratory sensitization and asthma among cleaning workers, the same population most extensively exposed to these products. The more acute danger involves accidental mixing. Ammonia reacts with chlorine-based cleaners, the hypochlorite compounds in bleach, Comet, and similar products, to produce chloramine gas. This is the same reaction discussed in the context of bathroom cleaners, but the Windex scenario is particularly common because windows and mirrors are often cleaned in bathrooms, where chlorine-based cleaners have recently been used on other surfaces. Residual chlorine compounds on a bathroom mirror or surrounding tile, contacted by ammonia-containing Windex, can produce chloramine concentrations sufficient to cause significant respiratory irritation in the enclosed bathroom space. Poison control centers document hundreds of incidents annually from this specific combination, ammonia-based glass cleaners contacting residual chlorine on bathroom surfaces. The outcome ranges from mild irritation requiring ventilation to cases requiring medical evaluation for respiratory symptoms. Vinegar and water produces no such reaction with any common household chemical. Vinegar is acetic acid. It reacts with alkaline compounds to produce carbon dioxide and water, both harmless. Mixed with bleach, it produces a mild acidic solution that is less reactive than either component alone. Mixed with ammonia-based cleaners, it neutralizes the ammonia. There is no combination of vinegar with common household chemicals that produces a toxic gas. Let's talk about what Windex actually costs the consumer versus what it costs to produce, because the gap is illuminating. A 32-ounce bottle of Windex retails for approximately $4 to $6. The active cleaning ingredients: isopropyl alcohol, ammonium hydroxide, and synthetic surfactants, are industrial chemicals that cost pennies per ounce in bulk. The water that comprises the majority of the formulation costs nothing of significance. The real cost in the retail price is packaging, branding, retail shelf placement, and the marketing that maintains consumer recognition of the blue bottle and the blue color as the default signal of glass cleanliness. SC Johnson, Windex's parent company, is a privately held company that does not disclose individual product revenues, but its total annual revenue exceeds $10 billion, driven substantially by its portfolio of branded cleaning products. The margin on commodity chemicals repackaged in branded bottles with strong consumer recognition is substantial. Industry estimates place gross margins on household cleaning products in the range of 50 to 70%. White vinegar costs approximately $3 to $4 per gallon. Diluted 50% with water, a gallon of vinegar produces 2 gallons of cleaning solution, enough to fill approximately 8 32-ounce spray bottles. The effective cost per spray bottle of cleaning solution is under 50 cents. The performance on glass is demonstrably better than Windex on the primary metric of streak-free result. The margin that funds Windex's advertising budget, retail placement, and the blue dye that serves no cleaning function whatsoever comes from the consumer's assumption that the branded product in the dedicated aisle performs better than the commodity ingredient that costs a fraction of the price. That assumption is not correct for glass cleaning. It is maintained by brand recognition and the absence of comparative information at the point of purchase. Here is the practical information for a window and glass cleaning approach that outperforms Windex at a fraction of the cost. The solution is 1 part white distilled vinegar to 1 part water, combined in a spray bottle. White distilled vinegar at 5% acidity, the standard grocery store product, is the correct concentration. Apple cider vinegar is not appropriate for glass cleaning because its color compounds can leave tinting on light-colored surfaces. White distilled vinegar is colorless and leaves no residue. The application technique matters as much as the solution. The most common streaking problem with any glass cleaner, including vinegar solution, is the cloth or paper towel used to wipe. Standard paper towels leave lint and paper fiber on glass surfaces. Microfiber cloths are significantly superior for glass cleaning because their fine fiber structure captures and holds material rather than pushing it around, and they leave no lint residue. A clean, dry microfiber cloth used with vinegar solution produces streak-free glass on virtually every surface. For heavily soiled windows, with thick mineral deposits from years of hard water exposure, a stronger concentration of vinegar applied and left for 5 to 10 minutes before wiping dissolves the mineral matrix more effectively than a quick application. For very stubborn mineral deposits, a paste of baking soda applied first to mechanically break up the deposit, followed by vinegar solution to dissolve the remaining mineral residue and clean the surface, addresses deposits that resist vinegar alone. For car windows and windshields, vinegar solution is particularly effective because car glass accumulates a specific type of film, a combination of off-gassing from interior plastics and road film that bonds to the glass surface. This film responds well to the mild acid of vinegar and poorly to the surfactants in commercial glass cleaners, which tend to smear this type of film rather than dissolve it. The interior windshield film that most drivers struggle with, the greasy haze that builds up on the inside of the windshield, is dissolved effectively by vinegar solution and a microfiber cloth in a way that Windex typically cannot match. One limitation worth acknowledging: vinegar solution should not be used on stone surfaces, granite, marble, travertine, near glass, because the acid can etch the stone surface. For windows surrounded by stone window frames or sills, applying the solution carefully to avoid contact with the stone, or taping a cloth barrier during application, addresses this limitation. Here is the market structure that explains why a $1 solution is not on the glass cleaning aisle next to the $4 product it outperforms. S.C. Johnson has marketed Windex since 1936. 88 years of consistent marketing has produced a level of brand recognition that functions as a barrier to entry for any alternative, not because the product performs better, but because the blue color and the brand name have been so thoroughly associated with clean glass that most consumers do not evaluate alternatives. The grocery store does not place a sign in the cleaning aisle explaining that the white vinegar in the condiment section cleans glass more effectively than anything on the shelf beside it. The retail structure does not support this information flow. Vinegar is in the condiment aisle because it is a food ingredient, and the cleaning aisle is organized around branded cleaning products with margins that support the slotting fees required for shelf placement. Consumer product companies pay for shelf placement. They pay for end cap positioning. They pay for promotional pricing that makes their product seem like a bargain compared to its regular price, rather than compared to the commodity alternative that costs a fraction of both. These are the market mechanisms that maintain consumer behavior consistent with the company's revenue interests, not through deception exactly, but through the complete absence of comparative information at the moment the purchasing decision is made. The information that vinegar cleans glass better than Windex is available. Professional window cleaners have known it for decades. Restaurant workers who maintain spotless mirror and glass surfaces know it. The detail that makes it not reach the average consumer is simply that no entity with a marketing budget has any financial incentive to communicate it. Here is the synthesis. Glass gets dirty from mineral deposits, skin oils, and surfactant residue from previous cleaning. Vinegar dissolves mineral deposits, cuts through skin oils, and leaves no residue when it evaporates. Windex contains surfactants that leave residue, if not perfectly removed, ammonia that creates health risks in enclosed spaces and dangerous gases when mixed with chlorine-based products, and blue dye that serves no cleaning function. The vinegar solution costs under $1 per spray bottle. It produces cleaner, streak-free glass. It creates no toxic byproducts, no dangerous mixing risks, and no respiratory concerns. It is available in every grocery store at $3 to $4 per gallon, enough for 8 spray bottles of cleaning solution. The blue bottle costs $4 to $6, underperforms on streaks, and contains ammonia that poison control centers field hundreds of calls about annually from accidental mixing incidents. The window does not know what brand of product cleaned it. It responds to acid that dissolves mineral deposits and leaves no residue. Vinegar does both.